And hi there. Hi there, friends. Welcome on board. Let's do a video and sound check before we kick it off. Hi there. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me okay? Let me know in the comments. I can see your comments. So let's collaborate today. Let's collaborate today and learn how to speak better English and also how to dream bigger, better, bigger, stronger, as they say. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I can see that you can hear me and see me okay. Welcome on board. Today, I'm really excited to be conducting this webinar because this webinar I have prepared in a little bit different way than I usually do. We are going to combine several things today during this webinar. You're going to learn English. Hopefully, you're going to get a boost of motivation to continue your learning journey. And of course, let's have fun together. Remember, whenever you're having fun, this is the best way for you to learn. Okay. So that's why every time we create something at English for IT, whether we create a new course, a new program, or even a free community webinar like this one, we always aim to have fun. Me as a speaker and the community and you as the community. So let's get the ball rolling today and dive right into it, right? And I, first of all, would like to ask you if you know me. So please share in the comments if we've met before. Because if we haven't met before, obviously I'm going to introduce myself. So let me know if you guys have ever attended any of the English for IT webinars with me being a speaker. Yes or no? Yes or no? So let me know in the comments. Remember, every time you drop something in the comments, you are putting yourself in the position of thinking in English. And of course, I'm not going to even ask this question. Do you want to start thinking in English? Of course, you want to start thinking in English, right? So that is why every time you send a comment, even if it's one word, yes, no, maybe, doesn't matter. You tell your brain to think and say something in English. So this is how actually you will begin this habit, right? You will start the habit of thinking in English. But anyway, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Anna Gandrabura. I'm the founder of English for IT, this amazing school that helps professionals who work in tech or who want to work in tech improve their English and communication skills and soft skills, right? I'm also an executive coach. I'm a social media influencer and I'm a public speaker. And if you don't know, the English for IT team and myself, we released and published a textbook that is called English for Tech. It's a real book it's a digital book that you can buy from us if you like learning English using books, using printed materials. So yeah, if you're curious about this, please let us know in the comments. The team will be happy to jump right in and to give you more details. And again, like I said, English for IT is unique because we don't only teach English, we teach three core components that you need to improve if you want to stand out, if you want to be the best from the crowd, right? If you want to stand out from the crowd as a true professional. So we help you with your language training. We teach English. We help you with the cross-cultural communication, right? So if you already let's say your English is not an issue for you, but you still have this miscommunication issues at work. This is because of cross-cultural differences. So we help you to tackle those challenges. And also power skills. Power skills is a new modern word for soft skills, like how to give feedback, how to communicate effectively in remote teams, etc. So we stand on these three pillars. That is why if you are not part of our community and if you have never taken our programs or attended webinars, please join in and you will be able to improve these three core components to become a better professional. And it doesn't matter, your job doesn't matter. You can be a software engineer, a graphic designer, an HR manager. It doesn't really matter. We will help you anyways. And what's today? What's for today, right? What's the agenda for today? What's on the menu? I just wanted to say what's on the menu. I don't know why. Maybe because this is around lunchtime for me. I mean, it's not around lunchtime for me, but it's coming to the lunchtime for me. By the way, guys, I am originally from Ukraine, from a beautiful city on the beach. I say it's Odessa. Currently, I am living in Miami. I have been living in Miami almost 4 years at this point. So I'm happy to broadcast, from from the original, from the first source, how English is spoken in the United States, and what companies are looking for when hiring international workforce, international professionals. But today, since we are wrapping up 2024, right, I want to talk about not just English, not just skills. I want to talk about many things, and mostly goals and motivation, right? Because we really need to finish, really need to end this year strong. So on the agenda today, I'm going to break down, it's like like discuss in details. I'm going to break down the difference between intentions and goals, because oftentimes, when you have a goal to improve your English, for example, or to improve your communication skills, you don't understand, but you might have an intention, not a goal. So I'm going to really tell you what um, a goal really means, and how is it different from an intention. Of course, this webinar is not going to be useless in terms of knowledge. You will learn at least 10 new modern phrases and idioms. But trust me, you will learn more. You will learn more because you will see that educational content is going to be here on every slide. So that is why I highly recommend that you have your notebook ready, so that you can write down useful vocabulary, new vocabulary, and other useful things that you hear from me. Another cool thing that I prepared for today is called a Wheel of Life. If you have never heard about Wheel of Life, well, first of all, you will have a chance to learn about it, but also you will have a chance to understand how happy you are with different aspects of your life, and how learning the language or any other skills can help you improve that area of your life. And of course, we're going to talk about mistakes, because mistakes triggers people a lot. Mistakes, usually, we are afraid of making mistakes, regardless whether they are language mistakes or other kinds of mistakes. And because we are afraid to make these mistakes, we can't move forward. That is why today I'm going to tell you how to go about, how to think about, right? How to go about mistakes, and how mistakes can actually help you achieve your goals and get good results. So before we get down to business, here are a few quick webinar rules. Please be active in the chat and contribute to the discussion. Like I already mentioned, every time you engage, you learn more and you remember things more. Instead of just being in listen-only mode, please be active here. No spam, no irrelevant messages, no offensive language. If you disagree with something, please disagree politely, okay? All right, because we're all really nice and polite people, and we are here to learn and to get positive emotions. Now, since you already know me, you already know things about English for IT, I want to get to know you a little bit better. So please, in the chat, tell us where you're from, what you do for living, right? Like, what's your job? And what is your number one English goal for 2025? And while you're sharing this in the chat, I would like to share some statistics that, when we asked people to register for this webinar, these are the responses that we got from people, right? So a lot of you guys are already with the English for IT. You're already part of the English for IT community. You are taking English for IT courses. 70% of people registered for the webinar actually said that you're already part of the community. We have almost 30% who are not part of the community. So welcome on board, and we are happy to have you here. We're happy to have you here. All right, awesome. Okay, so we are very international as far as I can tell in the chat. People are joining in from all over the world, which is great. Now, I am happy to dive in and to talk about how to set intentions and goals for learning a language, right? So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to share some unconventional tips that actually work. And like I said, remember, even if I even if I talk about something that is not directly about English grammar or some other things, you will be learning on the go. As you can see on the slides, the way I created the slides, I explained potentially new and difficult words for you in a more simple way. So what you can do right now, you can just write down in your notebook the highlighted word and the explanation what this word means. You see, I am not translating anything for you because you come from different parts of the world. So I don't speak your I might not speak your language, right? That is why I'm explaining it in English. But this is the only good way to actually learn a foreign language, right? You don't translate into your language. You find a synonym that you know for a new word. So, for example, unconventional tip means unusual tip, right? So write it down. The how to set intentions and how to set goals. Like whenever you come to me or you come to English for IT, you say, Anna, I want to learn English. Is this your intention or is this your goal? What do you think? Do you know the difference between intention and the goal? Well, we're going to talk about this in a minute, but before we talk about that, I also asked you when you were registering for this webinar, we asked you, what is your main goal for joining the webinar? And the majority of people said it's both improve English communication and learn goal setting techniques. I'm happy you guys understand this, that these two things, go hand in hand, right, together. Yeah, like 30% want to improve English, almost 9%, a little bit over 9% want to learn goal setting, but over 65% you guys want both. So we're going to talk about both, but don't worry, when I'm talking about goal setting, you will still learn English. Okay. So have you ever heard about Wheel of Life? Well, if you haven't heard, maybe you have heard something, you have seen the picture. You can see the picture on my slide right now. So this is a wheel of life, right? So these are eight areas of your life that you can evaluate. For example, now it's the perfect time, it's the end of the year. You can evaluate on the scale from 0 to 10 and see how happy you are in certain area of your life right now, right? So here, like, the areas of the life that you typically evaluate are, you can see it again on on your screen here. It's your business and career, it's your financial situation, your health, family and friends, your personal development, your physical environment, like where you live, for example. Do you like the place where you live or not? Fun and recreation, these are like your hobbies, what you do in your free time. And romance is love, right? So technically, if you look at this wheel of life right now, for example, you can mentally answer the question, like, how happy you are in business, for example, how happy you are in your fun and activities, how happy you are when you're dealing with friends. And while doing this, I also want you to think about English, right? For example, when you're evaluating the area of your career, right? And think about this: you are, let's say, on number 5 in your career, but you want to be on number 7. What can help you to get there? Maybe it's English, right? The same with, for example, friends, right? Let's say you move to a new country and you don't have many friends. What may be the problem? Maybe the problem is that you are actually afraid to make friends because you will have to speak English with them. Even if you don't live in the English speaking country, you will still have to speak English. Let's say you live in Germany now, you still have to speak English because you don't speak German, for example. So that is why, think about how English can influence each of these areas of your life, or even romance, for example. Maybe you, again, like, you move to a foreign country and you don't date anyone because you will have to speak English if you go on a date with someone in this foreign country. So I want you to give it a thought, and I want you to think from like the perspective of how happy you are in this area of life, and how can English help you to become a little bit happier and a little bit better. Remember, if you like from 0 to 10, if your score is 5, it doesn't mean it's bad, right? A 5 is also great for you now, for example, but let's say next year you want to be 6, right? So you want to improve a little bit. So yeah, actually, the team has prepared, and the team has just shared in the chat a PDF, a downloadable PDF of this wheel of life. So after the webinar, this is going to be your task on reflection. You can sit down, you can like give yourself 30 minutes, and you can really evaluate your life, how happy you are at this point, and where you want to go next year. And think about how English can help you become a little bit better in each areas of your life based on this wheel situation, right? So that's after you do this evaluation, it will be easier for you to start setting goals, right? It's going to be easier for you to create intentions and set goals. And now let's talk about the difference between intentions and goals. They might sound pretty similar. You will think about it, well, intention, I want to do something, and the goal, I want to do something. But let's take a look at the examples. So look at these pictures and tell me if you think they represent intentions or goals. So what do you think? Please share in the chat. So I want to gain muscles. Is it an intention or is it a goal? I want to lead a healthy lifestyle. By the way, we're going to talk about intentions and goals in the same way. I want, right? I want to gain muscle. I want to lead a healthy lifestyle. I want to ace a job interview, right? So, what's going to be an intention and what's going to be your goal? Let's see. Any ideas? A goal or intention? All right. Well, let's see. We can say that that's like leading a healthy lifestyle, right? Like that's more of a even a habit for us, right? Acing a job interview, that's definitely a goal. This is very like I want to be like specific about something. Let's take a look at this uh, intentions here. So intention, it's something that is broad, that is wide and general, right? It's without a specific deadline. So for example, let's say here in our picture, when we say I want to gain muscle, right? So like it's more of an intention because we are not specific here, right? Then a goal is a very specific and measurable outcome, right? So for example, again, when we speak about English learning, right? When people say I want to improve my English, it's not a goal, it's an intention. You have an intention to improve your English, but you don't have a specific goal. For example, I'm going to learn 20 words a week for the next like 3 months, for example, right? So that's going to be a goal because the goal has to be very specific and measurable, right? So that's why when you say, for example, I'm going to, I want to gain muscle is great. It's a great intention. Your goal is going to be a little bit different. Your goal is going to be, I want to gain muscles in, let's say, in 3 months. So during these 3 months, I'm going to lead a healthy lifestyle and I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a day. I'm going to eat a lot of protein. I'm going to cut down on carbs and things like that. So that's going to be very specific, So in order to make your intention a goal, you have to be specific and you have to measure it. Well, that is a difference. Now think about your language goals. Let's talk about English, right? I mean, I gave an examples of like muscles and healthy lifestyle because this is what this is how I live. This is what's important to me. But I still want us to think about English here, right? So goals and intentions, they are both crucial. Crucial means important. They're both crucial for success, right? So think about you now and write down in the chat, what are your English goals? And what are your intentions? Can you identify the difference now? Please, let's practice. Remember, every webinar the English for IT team brings to you, every webinar is a practical webinar, right? We don't want you just to listen. We want you to actually work together during this 1 hour together. And while you are sharing your intent, your language, your English intentions and goals, I want to share with you some tips how to actually go about intentions and goals. So first of all, in order to successfully set a specific goal, first, the first step is intention, right? You identify your intention. For example, I want to learn English. I want to improve English. This is your intention. After this, you create a habit. You create a habit that will be 100% connected to your intention. For example, if you say, I want to improve my English, what's the habit that you're going to create now? For example, attend English for IT webinars on YouTube, or I don't know, read one page of a book in English every day, right? So that's going to be your habit. Remember, you can achieve your goals only through habits. And actually, after that, when you create this habit, you have a specific goal, right? So let me give you an example. So, for example, your intention is you want to be fluent in English. So, what are you going to do? Your habit is you will practice for 30 minutes every day. For example, you will enroll, you will join a course, and you will practice 30 minutes every day. But the goal is the goal of this whole plan is that you want to learn 10 modern idioms and phrases every day. And actually, today you will achieve this goal because by the end of the webinar, you will have learned at least 10 modern idioms and phrases. So please write them down so that we can count at the end of the webinar. Okay. So that's how you go about it, right? So you have an intention, then you build a habit, and then you come to a goal. So sometimes people just say, I want to learn English, right? And I don't have a goal. It's also possible. Let's say you say, what if I don't have a specific goal yet? It's actually okay not to have a specific goal. Like, you can have an intention and you can build a habit around your intention, and then you will come up with the more specific and measurable goal. For example, like I said, let's say you are learning English now, but you're learning it just for fun. You don't really need English for work at this point. Like oftentimes we have people come to English for IT and they say, like, I want to learn English, but like I don't use it for work now. But like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't learn. Of course, you should learn. If you don't have a specific goal, like for example, pass a job interview in English, right? That's a specific goal. I have a job interview in 2 months. I need to pass it. So like, I need to improve English. That's a specific goal. But maybe you don't have it. You just want to improve English just for no reason. That is why you identify this is your intention. And what is the habit? Yeah, you want to improve English. Okay, well, join the community of people who speak English, or join a course where you can learn fun phrases. For example, communicational phrases or modern English course. By the way, we at English for IT, we do have a course that is called Modern English course. This is like super fun, where you learn modern phrases and expressions that you will never learn in any textbooks. So yeah, you can do something like that. So it's totally fine not to have a goal, but first to have an intention and to build a habit around it. Okay, now also like habits, right? Like, how to build habits. Now this is the question that bothers a lot of people, right? What if it's difficult to create a new habit? Of course, it is difficult to create new habits. It's difficult to create good habits. It's difficult to give up on the bad habits, right? But you know what? Our life is built on habits, to be honest. And if you don't understand that the most important thing for you in order to successfully achieve your goals is the habit, because honestly, habits help us learn new languages. I am learning Spanish, and I started learning Spanish like about a year ago, a little bit, yeah, like about a year ago. And I actually had to develop a habit, because up until that point, I was like very like, I was learning here and there. I had one lesson with the teacher, then I canceled it and things like that. I read like one a page of the book, and then I forgot about it. But when I created a habit of learning Spanish without, saying no to classes or having days off, this is when I saw progress. And now hablo un poquito, and so you can do the same thing with your English, right? So build habits, and in order to make it a little bit easier for you, because I'm not going to lie to you. It's not going to be difficult, because building habits is about being consistent, is about like, no days off, and really motivating yourself. It's a lot about self motivation. Not everyone can motivate themselves without a mentor, let's say, right? So, but in order to make it a little bit easier for you, I would recommend that you make sure your habits are more or less simple and enjoyable, right? So like I said, for example, if you want to learn English, like you don't need to study like with the teacher 3 times a week to quickly learn English, but you can study by yourself on your own for 20-30 minutes every day. 20-30 minutes of every day, it's nothing. If you think about how much time you actually spend on social media, just browsing your Instagram or TikTok feed without like, and it's useless, right? You don't learn anything. You will realize that at 30 minutes you like go like this, like go like super fast. That is why you have to think about like comparisons, right? How much time do I actually spend on social media, and I get nothing out of it? And I'm going to spend only 20 minutes every day to log in into my user account and to watch a course video and to do a course task in English, for example, right? So habits are really important when we talk about learning a language and becoming successful in what we want. But now back to learning a language, guys. I want to teach you some useful language that you can use when talking about goals. First of all, here's one common mistake that I've noticed. A lot of times I hear non-native English speakers say set up goals. Set up goals is not correct. You can just say set goals. Set goals, it's a fixed expression, and you have to use it as it is, right there, right? Not set up, but set. If you work in tech, for example, you know that set up means to organize, to make something, to prepare something to work, right? So this is going to be like a setup. For example, you can set up in a computer, like you just bought a new computer, you need to set it up. But goals, no, you set goals. Now, another phrase that you can use with the goal, with the word goal, is to pursue a goal, to pursue an intention. You can also say to pursue a dream, like it's like to follow, right? So, for example, you can say, I am pursuing my dream of becoming a fluent English speaker, right? So I'm pursuing, you can say that I joined the English for IT webinar because I'm pursuing my dream of becoming fluent in English. Now, another phrase that you might want to use is build habits, right? So build habits, it's like to create habits. In English, we say build habits. That's a very standard phrase. Build so like I said, building good habits is hard, right? Building good habits, especially around learning English, is hard, but it is doable, right? It is doable, especially if you have the community, like, for example, our community that can support each other. And also, there is another interesting phrase that I want to teach you is unlearn habits, right? So when you want to give up your bad habits, you can say unlearn habits, right? So for example, you can say I need to unlearn my old habits that don't work for me anymore, right? Think about this. Are there any habits that you want to unlearn? And drop them in the comments. Think about it. Well, let me go first, okay? So like, it's not let's make it a dialogue here. The habits that I want to unlearn. Ooh, this is interesting. I probably want to unlearn having my phone very close to my bed. That's a bad habit, and I'm actually doing it right now. And like, I'm going to share with you what I'm doing. So like, before going to bed, like, you always have your phone next to your bed, so you end up browsing your phone all the time. So what I did, I still have my phone next to my bed, but I also have a book next to my bed. So when I go to bed, instead of grabbing the phone and browsing the phone and falling, like, before falling asleep, I actually take a book and I start reading a book. And guess what? I ended up reading more. I ended up reading every day and consistently, and I ended up sleeping better and falling asleep faster. So this is how I am actually unlearning an old habit, but at the same time, I'm building a new habit. So you see, what about you? Please share your experiences in the chat. Especially share your experiences, because you are learning new words here, and we are going to learn actually more new words, because as promised, I have prepared 10 modern idioms and phrases to boost your English. Let me know in the chat if you're ready. While I'm gonna sip on some water here. All right. Okay. Awesome. Okay, guys, I see your messages here. Oops, sorry. I'll see your messages here. Somebody says, "Love your webinars." Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Love that you are here as well. And yeah, let's learn more. But remember, guys, the rule of the webinar is to be active and to participate in the discussion. All right. So modern phrases. As you know, at English for IT, or maybe you don't know, at English for IT, we are very big on teaching you through real life information, through real life materials. They're called authentic materials. So when you take our courses, you will see that a lot of content in the course is taken from real life. We do this on purpose because we want to show you what English is spoken in real life, instead of just, like, books. So that is why today I have prepared some screenshots from Twitter and maybe some other social media. No, mostly from Twitter today, where I want you to see how native English speakers actually communicate and what words they actually use. Let's take a look at the first tweet here. A while ago, I couldn't run 3,000 miles, or I don't know, probably miles, without taking a break. Today, I ran 50K, 50,000. K stands for thousand, right? 50K without stopping once. It's crazy what showing up consistently can do to your body. And now we can say to what is that? 2,350 kilometers ran so far. Okay, so far this year, yeah. So it wasn't the it was 2,350 kilometers. So somebody is not from the United States, but probably maybe Canada or something. So they don't speak miles here. So yeah, so showing up consistently, show up for yourself. Also, you can say that it's to take personal responsibility and to commit to achieving a goal. So for example, when we talk about learning English, right? And you say, like, you can tell me, Anna, I'm really committed. I want to show up for myself. And I promise myself I'm going to practice English every day, because I want to show up for myself. That's how you use this phrase, right? And consistently means regularly without breaks, right? So like when you do something every day, you are consistent. That's what you say, right? Again, you can say, you can use the word regularly, but this is a simple word, right? For example, for someone who is in a pre-intermediate in English, but if you want to sound upper intermediate, and that's again one of the popular questions that we get, how can I break through the intermediate level, right? How can I break free from it, right? So this is how you do it. You start using more advanced vocabulary, and consistently is a more advanced way of saying regularly. Now let's take a look at another tweet here. 5 ways to crush your goal. And another cool expression, right? We can say achieve your goals, and you probably know this phrase. It's simple, but if you want to sound more advanced and even like more conversational and modern, you say crush your goals, right? Crush your goals. By the way, I would say that this is more like a slang expression. However, you can use this expression. I mean, you can hear this expression in work context as well. For example, when you have a team meeting or team discussion, you can say, like at the end of the month, you can say, we crushed our goals, right? So like, that's not going to be rude or anything. It's just going to be modern. And yeah, it's just going to be super modern. So how can you crush your goals? Break it down, divide into smaller parts, divide into smaller pieces, break something down, make a plan. You know that. Stay accountable. Stay accountable means stay responsible, stay honest, right? Like stay accountable, stay responsible to your decision. So you can say, I need to stay accountable to crush my goals. Celebrate progress. Remember, when you break your goals down, you have smaller goals, which are easier to crush, which are easier to achieve. So then you can celebrate progress. Don't forget to pat yourself on the back. That's another idiom that you can write down. Pat yourself on the back. So like you can, it means that praise. Don't forget to praise yourself and celebrate small wins. And of course, never stop trying. Remember, even if you fail, it's okay, because when you fail, you're learning. By the way, we will talk about failures. We will talk about mistakes in a moment. Now, and I will teach you how to actually start thinking about mistakes so that mistakes can help you become better and crush your goals. Now, there is another tweet from Natalie. Success doesn't come overnight. Overnight means immediately. Another perfect synonym that you might not know yet, but now you know it. The real winners are those who can stick it out, and even when the results aren't immediate, right? Stick it out, continue doing something difficult until you succeed. Now, that's a phrasal verb. That's an idiomatic phrasal verb, I would say. So, yeah, write it down and start using it. And one more here from Tim. The main reason people settle for mediocre job, settle for, accept something as good as what they hope for, like settle for, they agree with it and they accept it. Mediocre, less than average, right? So like we have average, we have good, we have bad. So average is something in the middle, mediocre is less than average, so it's almost like bad, right? And see it through, to see something through means to completely see something, right? To completely see something, to completely understand something. These are the phrases, these are the modern phrases, and this is where you can learn this modern English from real life, from social media, from real people, from even comments, right? So like Twitter, it's like a person commenting, a person talking about their opinion, but this is where you can learn real language. Now, like I mentioned just a moment ago, when we had in our tweet here, right? So success doesn't happen overnight, we said that, right? In the tweet, it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to fail, right? And when we have a goal to crush, you should never stop trying, right? Even if you've tried something, it didn't work, you should try it again. So this is about having the right mindset. So I want to talk about a common mindset around mistakes, and how we actually think about mistakes, and how we should think about mistakes in order to make them work for us, right? So mindset mistakes, these are mistakes, these are opinions that we have around certain things. So today I have prepared maybe 4 or 5 most common beliefs that English learners have around learning English. And the most common belief that people have around learning English, or around learning pretty much any skill, is that I don't have enough time. You know, when you say, I don't have enough time to learn it, I don't have enough time to read a book, I don't have enough time to, I don't know, to watch a video, I don't have enough time to join the webinar, that's a limiting belief. This belief, this opinion limits you. This is a story that you tell you. That is not a true story, because you can tell yourself a different story. You can tell yourself a story that everyone has 5 minutes a day. This is enough to make progress. Or you can tell another story. I spent 30 minutes on Instagram and TikTok. I can spend 30 minutes learning English, you know? So remember, every time you have this story why you can't do something, remember that this story is not true. This is a story that you tell you because it's easier for you. But you can change yourself and you can tell yourself a different story, like I just said, right? And remember that small time investment in your learning, right, have a big payoff. Payoff is another phrase for you. Payoff, return. Return in money, or return in the form of money, or return in the form of promotion and things like that, right? So that's a payoff. So that's the story you tell. Now, another mindset mistake is that a lot of you think that you're not good at languages. So, talent for languages is a myth. Anyone can learn a language. The question is how much time and effort you have to put in order to be successful and to learn the language, right? So, for example, some people can learn it faster, some people will learn it slower, but they will still learn it. And for you, it's important to identify what's the best way for you of learning, right? So, for example, for me, let me again give you since I already speak good English, I'm learning Spanish and I'm a beginner, right? So I have tried several ways. Maybe yeah, I've tried several ways, and the best for me are online courses and the teacher, right? So I am doing both. I'm taking a course online where I can learn independently at my own time. You know, I can watch a video, I can listen to a podcast, I can do a task, but also I also have a class with a teacher, one-on-one, a live lesson. So it works for me the best. And when I started combining these two, this is actually when I saw progress. You know, yes, it was difficult at the beginning because I had to be very responsible, not to skip my online course classes and things like that. But I, you know, made a commitment and I stayed accountable, you know. So I decided that I'm going to practice every day, and this is what I do. Even if it's only 5 minutes, I still do it. I log in, I watch a video, and then I was like, okay, now I don't have time, I need to do something else, and this is what I do. But you know, like, even this 5 minutes every day, they count. So that is why it's not about you being not good at languages, it's about you telling yourself that you're not good at languages. So this myth has been debunked. This myth has been proven wrong. You can learn and you can speak language. It's the matter of practice, really. Now, another story that people tell themselves that actually stops them from speaking good English is that learning is too expensive. Well, if we compare, for example, you spending money on trinkets, it's like small things that you'd never use, and spending money on a course, on an online course that lasts 2 months and will give you 2 months of English instruction and tons of knowledge. That's how you have to think about it. Learning can be free. Learning can be paid for. So you can choose. For example, this webinar is free for you. So thank you so much for investing this time into becoming a better version of yourself, right? So this time it's free for you. But the thing is that with free learning, it is not often taken seriously, because when you get something for free, you don't feel the value of it. That is why a lot of times when we offer something for free, like this webinar, it's like good to have. You enjoy it, you appreciate it, but it might not get you anywhere like beyond this one meeting. That is why when you actually pay for something, when you pay for something that you really want, let's say a one-on-one English lesson, or an online course, or I don't know, a webinar. Yeah. When you pay for it and you know that you really want it because the topic is great, the content is great, you really like the instructors, this is when you get value. And this is when you become serious about your goal, right? And this is when you start seeing all the improvements. I'm pretty sure you know how it works. And I'm pretty sure you've been in the situation when you got something for free. For example, you got a free English course, but you never even logged in. You never even watched one video lesson. You never even done one task in this course. That is why it's about, understanding your priorities. And I don't think that learning is too expensive. I think that you just don't have your priorities right, and you can't make right comparisons. Like I said, just compare. For example, you pay $150 for 2 months of learning English, or you pay $150 for, I don't know, some like, I don't know, some clothes, like jeans that you wear once and then like you don't like it, or something like that. So that's what matters. Another belief that people have is that they are too old or too young, or the time is not now, or it's too late, for example, right? So for example, you can think, oh, I'm too old to learn English. No, you're not. You're never too old. I'm not too old to learn Spanish. And I learned Spanish because I live in Miami and a lot of people speak Spanish here. I want to fit in the community. I don't need Spanish for work, for example. But like, I know that if I speak Spanish, my quality of life will be better here in Miami, because I will be able to speak, with more people in Spanish, just have small talk and things like that. So I don't think I'm too old for this. I don't even think about age. So you shouldn't think about age either. So there is no such a thing as it's too soon or it's too late, I'm too old, or I'm too young. The time is always now. The time for change is always now. And since you're watching this webinar, this is a reminder that you joined this webinar because you already know deep inside your gut, your intuition. Your intuition knows that the time for change is now. So let's act on it. Let's act on it. And I will tell you how you can get started, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of you actually don't know how to get started, right? You don't know where to start. You don't know what to start with. You don't know actually how to go about learning, right? Because you need a mentor. And I'm happy that you're here, because we are the English for IT. We are here as your mentors, and we're happy to help you to get started. How can you get started? First of all, let's pick the right program for you, right? Like, what do you want to learn? Do you want to learn general English? Do you want to learn professional English? What do you want to learn? Let me know in the comments, please. What do you want to learn? Do you want to learn general English? Do you want to learn business English? Do you want to learn IT English? What do you want to learn? So again, for me, for example, personally, when I'm learning Spanish, right? Like I will get again give my example. For me, it's learning general English, but with elements, oh, sorry, general Spanish, but with elements of business Spanish, because I go to networking events and I want to be able to make small talk, like basic small talk in business. So that's why I'm like combining these two, right? And that's why, for example, I am taking a course on general English, but with the teacher, I'm also practicing business, sorry, general Spanish, but with the teacher, I'm practicing business Spanish. So the same about you, for example. You have to identify what program you need: tech English, IT and business, general, or maybe a combination technically. And then you need to decide who you want to be your teachers. Who do you want to be your teachers? Do you want English for IT to be your teachers? Because the English for IT team is big, and we offer not only online opportunity to study, to take online courses, but we also have individual classes. We also have speaking clubs. We also have this and that. So we have everything. So if you want English for IT to be a teachers, please join our family, join our tribe, join our community, especially now since we have Black Friday sale. All courses and ebooks go at 50% off. If you use the code Friday50, you can get any course, any online course, or any textbook, any digital textbook with 50% off. And I have just like shown some of the examples, but it can be general English course, for example, vocabulary and grammar. It's one of our most popular general English courses. English for Tech is a flagship tech English course. It has been taken by thousands of people to date, and it's really popular. We have business English course as well, which is called English for IT Communication. We have a course that is called Power Skills for Work, that will teach you necessary soft skills for work. We have the textbook English for Tech, with many lessons on tech English. If you like a book instead of a course, for example, everything goes with 50% off, but you have to hurry up. I think the last day of the discounts is November 30th. So you have it like 4 days to enroll in one of our programs. And of course, if you have a question, just go to the website, look through the program. If you already know what program you want to take, what course you want to take, or what ebook you want to buy, go ahead and buy it off the website. Or if you need to talk to the team is always there. You can chat right on the website. We have support. You can chat with the real person, or you can ask your questions in our Telegram channel as well. So we actually do have, if you guys have Telegram, you can follow, you can join our Telegram community. It's at you can see it on the screen here. Our handle, it's called handle at ENG4IT. That's our Telegram community. So you can join there. And if you have questions about courses or books, please ask us there, or on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, English at English_for_IT on Instagram. If you have any questions, please ask us your questions there. But in the meantime, of course, go to our website and look for the courses, look for the ebooks that you like, and get them right away. And this brings me to a close here. I think that's a wrap. This is another expression. I don't know if you've ever heard it or not. It's a wrap, right? It's a wrap, meaning we are coming to an end of our time together. Any questions, comments, or concerns? And again, another cool phrase that I wanted you to learn: ask away. It's a conversational way. It's a conversational expression. If I, for example, want you to start asking me questions, I can say, instead of saying, please ask me a question, which is more formal way of saying, please ask me a question. If we are like friends, I can say, ask away, ask away. Any questions? Ask away. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the webinar. I'm glad you learned something new. Let me know if you have any questions. We still have a few minutes left. And please don't forget to use your opportunity to join the English for IT community. Use promo code Friday50 to get 50% off on our courses and ebooks. Thanks, everyone. Well, thank you so much. If you have any questions down the road, please feel free to reach out to me on social media. Reach out to English for IT on social media, and we'll be happy to assist you and help you. In the meantime, I hope everyone had a fantastic time, and I'll see you in our community. I'll see you in our courses, and till the next time. Bye for now.